So it's been about a year since I found out what happened to my missing sister, and I still have a lot of unanswered questions. Like, why did it take 3 weeks to find her body when it was laying there exposed on a center divider on a busy street where hundreds, if not thousands of cars pass by every week? When the woman who hit my sister pulled over and called 911, the LA Sheriff's Department showed up. They claimed that they looked high and low for something or someone that was hit and that they didn't see anything. Why wasn't there a police report taken? Why didn't they document this interaction? They just let the woman drive away. Why didn't the woman go back and check herself? Did she just really want to believe that nothing was hit? Like, did she not see what or who she hit? Like, were her eyes closed? Was she not looking at the road? Did she really have no idea?
A whole bunch of good questions from this woman. She's an LA woman. She's speaking out about the police mishandling of this entire investigation around her missing sister, 24-year-old Maxine McCann. She was actually killed in that car accident last year, 2 years ago. That was in October. So her body was not found until several weeks later, just a few feet from where she was hit. And also, then again, she wasn't even identified until more than a year later. That's where the police came in to do nothing. There's an image of her as you see there. And so the entire family of hers was searching. And when they finally identified her last year, her sister then posted this update on her Instagram to talk about all that they've been through. She says, it's been over a year since my little sister's disappearance. And then last Friday, my mom and I got the worst call of our lives. It was from the coroner's office. My sister's body had been identified. Maxine McCann was struck by a car in LA on October 26th of 20. The driver pulled over and called 911. The driver said she didn't see anything, so she went on her way. The sheriffs came and said they didn't see anything either, so they didn't even take a report. Maxine's body was then found 3 weeks later, and she was filed away as Jane Doe once they found her body. And it wasn't until homicide picked the case back up last week that we began to get some answers, and that was only because of the persistence of my mother. The detective linked the 911 call to the body and identified my sister by the dental records my mom gave them. And lastly, my family has been sitting in a horrible, ambivalent nightmare for over a year. And this wasn't the way this story was supposed to end. So, again, let's look at this image of where this happened and how I'm trying to figure out where and how someone can get hit in this area, and then police who could care enough about it can't find or discover what the back end of this was. If this lady was looking down at her cell phone and she maybe hit an animal even on the road. Aren't you looking for what it is that happened? I don't know, but they couldn't figure it out for weeks, and now it turned into years. It's crazy. So this is what the police said when they finally found her body and classified it as Jane Doe. The body was face down in the shrubbery, out of sight from drivers and pedestrians, is what Homicide Lieutenant Barry Hall with the LA County Sheriff's Department said. An autopsy is pending. Investigators are pursuing promising leads toward identifying the body, which appears to be that of a woman. Again, that's what they said once they finally discovered that there was a body there. But still, lastly here, her sister's posting all these videos and she's looking for justice. But I want your thoughts on this, because this is a scary situation. I see this, I would assume that there's a search more for people that are missing. But there's this little series I'm watching on HBO and it's about missing people. And the degree to which police kind of don't care is stark. And I didn't even know about this.
Yeah, I mean, we know the homeless population in LA is insane, and how regularly you see someone sleeping on the sidewalk. You might drive by a body that is a dead body, that is someone who has been hit by a car, and just say, it's a homeless person taking a nap. That's how common it is. And this story is also surprisingly common as well. My uncle was in prison not too far from here in California. He was released early with no way to contact the family, no resources given to him. He had a bunch of mental health issues, and he was struck by a car as a homeless man. The report was simply homeless man struck by a car. No investigation into the driver, nothing. We found out 3 days after the body was obtained when they finally identified him. This is so common. People are treated, if they're unhoused or if they're just a regular working class person, as if they're expendable by the justice system in the United States, if you can call it that. The police exist to protect property and power. They don't really care about regular everyday people, which is why we need alternatives for public safety.
And then when you have to have family members that have to become semi or part-time investigators in order to push the investigation to them doing anything, I'm not sure what the job of these cops is supposed to be, especially in major cities like LA. It'd be very easy for them to be like, hey, we didn't have the manpower or time to pull it off. But I don't know if you guys have noticed this. All these police stations across the country, backed by many politicians from both sides of the aisle, are like, we need more cops on the streets. We need more police officers. We need more money. Where's that money going?
They had plenty of time to be surveilling our peaceful protests. They were driving by every hour on the hour, driving the chopper that costs $500 to $1,200 an hour to operate. That's what they're doing.
They find what they want to find.